I am Louis Ball. Welcome to another Colors of Prog episode. This time, I'll be discussing some Japanese prog ye not normally spoken of too much. Three bands in particular. I have Electric Asturias, Gerard, and Stella Lee Jones. So I'm going to start by saying Flat 122. That was one of the great Japanese bands that went unheralded by the masses. Think Eno-type ambient recording with some light fusion and some Mike Oldfield-type keyboard and guitar sounds. Yeah, so Flat 122 is definitely one of the more outre, out there bands that linked to progressive music. After one or two now hard to find recordings, I think YouTube has some music if you're willing to check it out. Guitarist Satoshi Hirata he was in Flat 122. He started Stella Lee Jones. And their album, A Floating Place, there you go, that's better. Not to glare today, sorry about that, folks. A Floating Place builds on the Flat 122 sound and is even more soundscape driven with crazy piano arpeggio runs, John McLaughlin-like speed runs on the guitar, courtesy Hirata, and the occasional dabble into classical sounds come avant-garde. There's excellent violin contributions from Tai Sena and Emi Sasaki on accordion. Makes it surely an eclectic listen, but nothing short of a terrific one. And let's also mention Shinya Stato's keyboard work, which is sublime. At times it reminded me of a Morricone score to one of the great Leone westerns. Yes, it's that good. So, Stella Lee Jones, A Floating Place. Really, it's one I highly recommend. Go out of your way to find this. It's that good. I did want to make a note. I took an additional note. Track 8 on The Floating Place is called X Zone. X-Zone. And it has backward guitar, aka Robert Fripp, and sounds of a ringing telephone, and sounds like one of those Fripp Eno collaborations from back in the day. Those Fripp Eno albums they used to do, like Evening Star, I believe. No Pussyfooting, that was another one. So it's very similar to that in a way. And but I just described some of the musical sounds that are on the Stella Lee Jones A Floating Place. Highly recommend this one. Next, another band I really like, Electric Asturias. And this is their new release, Dimensions. And I'm going to get to this in a minute because some of the players from Stella Lee Jones are on Dimensions, and they're in Asturias now. So, this is a 2023 release, it's fairly new. Came out, I believe, near the end of 2023. So Asturias was founded by multi-instrumentalist and composer Oyama, in 1987. They disbanded in 1993, reformed as Acoustic Asturias in 2003, and Electric Asturias in 2009, I believe. And occasionally they switch back and forth between acoustic and electrical identities. Multi-instrumentalist and composer Oyama, spelled Oyama, created Asturias as a project to showcase his compositions within the band format. Circle in the Forest in 1988 was the first album under the Asturias name. By 1993, the band rechristened itself Acoustic Asturias for the Bird's Eye View EP that was 25 minutes long, and it revisits earlier Asturias compositions in an acoustic format. I have all these, but it's a show really about this one. In Search of the Soul Trees in 2008 finds more of that Mike Oldfield influence, and Oyama has quite a few guests sitting in, including guitarist Gerard from Stella Lee Jones. 2011's Acoustic Asturias, Legend of the Gold Wind, I believe, features violinist Tysina as a band member. And by Fractals, the album from 2011, Satoshi Hirata is now fully on board as a guitar player. This brings me to Dimensions, which is this one, the most recent release, which in addition to Oyama, Sena on violin, Harada on guitar, also features Yoshihiro Kawago on additional keyboards and Kiyotaka Tanabe on percussion. Ueno Yoko contributes vocals on one tune. This self-released latest album from Electric Asturias really continues the chamber rock sound that Asturias is known for. But actually, this time they kind of rock it up a bit, more than usual past offerings. Now, I saw Asturias perform live on one of the early Cruise to the Rock festivals, Cruise to the Edge, Rock on the Water festivals. And I was not alone by being both impressed and wowed by the band's versatility and live performance. They appeared on subsequent Prog on the Water events, and it's been my pleasure to interact with them both personally while I saw them when they weren't performing, and nowadays on Facebook on occasion. And they always seem to be warm and inviting. So yes, it's a terrific band. So it's a bit different from Stella Lee Jones. They have a bit of a different sound. But as I said, some of the Stella Lee Jones people have joined Asturias. So there's that. So next, we have Gerard. And it's not a band member, it's a band. The androgynous appearance of the male lead in this band. Think David Bowie Low era, how Bowie looked during Low period. Toshio Igawa has been the keyboard player for the Japanese prog band Novella originally. But when they switched to a hard rock format, he left to perform Gerard. Just like the name, G-E-R-A-R-D. Now, Gerard is his own band, which is much more progressive sounding as opposed to Novella's switch to hard rock. The debut album, Gerard, was released in '84 and had a full band, but by the time of Ruins in a Glass Fortress in 2000, the band was reduced to a trio and a rotating cast of bass and drum performers. Like each album seemed to have a different bass player, a different drummer, and so on and so forth. So the first one I'm going to discuss is Live in Marseille, 1999, Marseille, France, Paris, France. Now, for a period, there weren't, on these Gerard albums, there weren't very great, clear photos of the band members, and I think that was due to our main keyboardist just trying to have his own issues with his androgyny, but This is much better. I should just take the sleeves out to show you guys. That's from the Live in Marseille. Nowadays he looks much more androgynous. Okay. So this features, beside Igawa on keyboards, Atsushi Hasegawa on bass, and Masahori Goto on drums. The 42-minute live album, Live in Marseille, is total progressive rock with Igawa playing a Hammond organ through a Leslie cabinet, a Chord Trinity synthesizer, giving him that Eddie Jobson sound. When Jobson was with Eddie Jobson was with Roxy Music, he was playing Chord Trinity synthesizer sometimes. And they even do a cover of a Banco tune of all things, La Conquista della Posizione Arata. So they're obviously a fan of Italian prog. There's only 8 songs here. So again, it's like 41 minutes long. It's pretty much the average length of most prog recordings released. This was on the Musea label. And they call it Live in Marseille Battle Triangle for some reason. There's a back. Sorry about the glare. Oh, that's better. So, also, I wanted to throw in there, I have one more from Gerard. And I don't know what to think about this one. So, I forgot the date. Bear with me. I believe it's from the early 2000s. Late 1990s, early 2000s. This is called Keyboards Triangle 2. There was a Keyboards Triangle 1 that Gerard split with another band. The other band had their songs, Gerard did their songs, and there was a covers album. This is yet another one. And this one is, 2013, folks. 2013 is the actual release date. Recorded live in the studio 2001, but it wasn't released on the Musea label till 2013. So those 13 years, I have no idea what happened. Anyway, this is a tribute. Yes, this Japanese trio, different bass and drum player on this one, as I mentioned. They do 21st Schizoid Man by Crimson, Danger Money, UK, Knife Edge, ELP, which makes sense because Igawa on keyboards can remind one of Keith Emerson. He's that good. He's quite talented. Again, Alaska, Time to Kill, another UK. Lark's Tongue and Aspic, King Crimson, and yet another In the Dead of Night, another UK song. So I think I mentioned on the previous album, Live in Marseille, his array of keyboards on stage as he performs, and that he's using equipment that Eddie Jobson was known to play. So here's they're playing a lot of UK songs. So there's cements that Eddie Jobson connection there, that thing. It's how is it if you're not familiar with Gerard, it's a different thing than what I was talking about with Asturias and Stella Lee Jones. Totally different kind of music, but more ELP, the nice oriented, keyboard heavy. They're only a trio. The only thing was on Keyboard Triangle 2, they do have special guest singers, and they are Japanese, and they sing in perfectly unaccented English, but I wasn't really crazy about them. But they're handling songs here like, 21st Century Schizoid Man, Danger Money, In the Dead of Night, that you could do instrumentally, but they decided to hone closer to the original versions. And so, without the glare of the band. Anyway, so for fans of ELP, or as I said, other keyboard heavy driven bands, you will certainly dig this. I have not jumped deeper into the Gerard discography to compare with other releases, but I actually recommend this one, both of them actually. The Live in Marseille more so, to symphonic Prog fans, and especially Emerson, Lake, and Palmer fans. So that's our show today, Japanese Prog. Thanks for listening. See you soon.